Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video we're going to take a look at what the Cardano price is doing, also what Bitcoin is doing, and after the exciting day yesterday where we actually briefly broke through that important resistance level, we unfortunately back where we started. I'm a bit later today, so it's just what it is. I got tied up, so that's just sometimes how it is. But let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin still trading below this resistance zone. I mean, we had a very long candle to the upside here yesterday, but the daily candle didn't close, which just indicates we didn't see that sustainable push to the upside. We want at least normally the 4 hour at least, but certainly the daily to be on the safe side, closing above a certain level. And 48.8k is the level that we've got on this chart here, which is that high again on the 18th of September. We have actually closed the 4 hour candle, but we didn't close the daily candle. And yeah, we dropped back. What it however shows is that there are a lot of buyers in the market who are prepared to buy these prices. But I think the more professional traders or institutions, or you could call the market makers, they just pushed the price down again. And what we then had, probably a few stop losses being activated again, and the price dropped even further in that down here to 47,000 roughly. And we can take a look at that on the hourly chart. But yeah, there's certainly a lot of buyers, and the good sign is we haven't actually dropped since then. So we pretty much stayed on that level before we attempted the breakout to the upside. So it's not over yet, and it could indicate that the buyers were there, but the buyers were just not ready yet. Okay, we are on the indicators. They are looking better again as well from day to day, looking better. We've made that bullish cross here we talked about on the MACD. Also on the RSI, we stay in the above 50 range in the bullish territory, and also on the ADX here, the trend indicator. We can now see actually a slight reversal now as we are moving sideways, but we are still in a trend and in an uptrend. We had that long signal here on the 1st of October. So it is looking better and better with the indicators here. And as you remember, when we had down here, that push to the upside as well, that was the last time that the MACD histogram went green. Yes, admittedly, we didn't have a red candle there, but it's certainly when that happens on the daily, and especially to that height, we had a little bit here and there around the 7th of September, 6th of September, but those were only 1 or 2 little green, bars on the histogram. But now it's really getting pushed to the upside. You can clearly see that how strong the MACD is going to the upside. So it is a buy signal. Maybe the buyers were just not ready yet. But again, objectively, until we actually break the 48.8k, we are still in that consolidation. It's just until then, it's just a lower high that we are marking. And on the hourly, just before we go to Cardano, we can see that we continue to trade in a triangle. We broke out of that triangle pattern that we had on the chart here yesterday, then we broke back in, and now we can identify a larger triangle actually. So there might be another attempt maybe to the upside when we get into the apex, and it can't take long, possibly today or tomorrow, right? Because that is when we can identify the apex here on this chart. Yeah, so be prepared for another pump to either way, a pump or a drop. Again, maybe possibly, certainly if we go up, it's a larger triangle now, so we could expect probably a larger move, but certainly I think we can expect some more resistance here at this important level where we had resistance as well to the upside, which is 49.3k. Yeah, and to the downside, I think if we drop down, I think we could actually drop down to 44k in the first move and then continue to trade in that range. But hopefully we will continue our way to the upside. But again, objectively, unless we continue to get above 48.8k, even though we broke out briefly to the upside, it was just a fake out. Looking at Cardano, I know a lot of people are disappointed, but if you are disappointed of anything, I think it is not the right thing to be emotional in when it comes to an investment. You made the decision for a reason, and to be disappointed is always emotional. It's not great in financial markets, because what happens then, when the price goes down, you sell, then the price goes up, you buy in with FOMO again. So it's not great. So try to stay, not emotional in these financial markets. It's just what happens. There are periods where some cryptos are weaker, but they will always catch up in my view, especially a project like Cardano, with so many great things coming up, like the stable coin, the partnership with Dish. And if that is really related to Amazon, as so many people are talking about, and potentially Dish will be purchased at some point by Amazon, that could be really great push for Cardano. And also long term. I mean, just as a side note here on the daily, we are continuing to make higher lows here. I mean, we haven't marked that low yet, but it looks like, the next candle here on the daily might, if we stay on that level, might mark another higher low. That would be great, but we're also making lower highs. So again, we can identify here on the daily another triangle. We talked about that already. Gave price targets here. We could even come down if we say again the height of that triangle. We could get down to one, probably even to slightly below 170. But to the upside, I think that could push us, depending on when we break out, could push us actually to to that target level of 265, where we had those candles closing. So I certainly expect some very strong resistance there. And that is again the target level we need to get above, 265 for Cardano. It has a lot to catch up now on Bitcoin, but it's just what it is sometimes in these markets. Again, you can see that we are still in that consolidation, but we have the positive signs also for Cardano that we started to make higher lows here, which is a good sign. Also to make D for a long time now. First time for a long time, it's getting green as well. So that could really mark that potential push to the upside and a trend reversal potentially. But we are still in the bearish range on the RSI. And I think until we really see that sustainable push above 265, we will just continue to stay in that range market. And personally, I know a lot of people are trading, but then they get shaken out of the market. So I always try to be there in the long term. Dollar cost averaging in tries to get rid of the emotions by dollar cost averaging. Whoops, I just take that out. And I am going to take a very a shorter term trade as soon as we get above 265 and I see that sustainable push to the upside. A lot of people are then always scared, that we are too late in the market, and potentially that is to some extent true, but it's the more safe way to do it as well, to see a confirmed push to the upside, and only then it makes sense for me, because otherwise it is sort of speculation as well, and I'm not able, due to my full-time job, corporate job, to trade really the daily small moves, unfortunately, but maybe at some point in the future I will. So I will certainly let you know when I enter a shorter term long position on this channel. I will let you know, and that will be something away and above that what I normally do when I do dollar cost averaging, which goes into the long-term portfolio. But the trade that I will then do, I will certainly try to do it shorter term and then take some profit nearer the top or at the top of the bull run if we can get there, and I'm sure we will. That's pretty much everything. Maybe let's take a final look at the hourly chart before we finish, and then there will be a later update, another update later today. Hopefully we'll then have seen a breakout as well. Here on the hourly chart, what we can see again, just trading in that triangle here, had here higher lows and higher highs, and we had that smaller triangle pattern. I talked about it yesterday. Sorry, higher lows, of course. We had a triangle pattern here. I talked about it yesterday. Said, when we get close to that apex, you will have a breakout as well. I'm sure I gave you a target in yesterday's video. Again, the height of that triangle, and I think that worked out as well. Pretty much, as you can see, pretty much exactly hit that target. Based on when the breakout happens, it just happens. It's what many people use. You take the height of that triangle then, when you have the first formation really here, where the low and the high of that triangle really match, and then you add that height to the breakout point, and there you go. That pretty much worked out very well. And there we are at 218, unfortunately, 219, and we're heading into the apex of that larger triangle. Here on the hourly, I mentioned yesterday as well, I think that we were... No, here on the hourly we weren't in the overbought range. Oh yes, we were up here, so in the overbought range, that possibly a consolidation will be coming, but this is only on the hourly chart. So now that we came into the into the oversold zone, we might see another small push to the upside, but that is just a daily noise that you can see. I think we are all mainly interested in the longer term movements. We want to know when that consolidation is over, that we can see many days of profitable moves to the upside again, and we're all waiting for that, of course. But until again we've seen the 265 push, a move above 265 for Cardano, I would still say that we could come down once more to the 180 level, or even a little bit lower in the final push of the consolidation, before we then move to the upside to at least 450 this year, I think. Right, so hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button. And if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, then please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.